Okay. Hello, hello. Hello Twitch, hello YouTube. Back for some more Astrea. Um, Back from a bit of a break I took, but we are back. I know I always say this, but hopefully I don't have to take any breaks anytime soon. Uh, stuff just te- Stuff just keeps turning to, or stuff just keeps happening to turn up. Apparently I can't speak today. Stuff just keeps happening to turn up in my life. And I keep having to go tend to it, so hopefully I don't have to do that anytime soon again, and I can just stay here on Twitch and YouTube. But let's go ahead and jump in for now. Obviously, we are still working through all of these achievements. We still do have a lot of work to do. I did not get through anything during my break, so um, yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna jump in somewhere and figure something out. I believe the only achievement we got last time was I want to say the dice one. This one right here. Win a run with only starter die and one other type of die. It was either that one or the achievement to defeat Astrea with every oracle. Got that at some point, but we still got some more stuff to do. Looks like only two more normal achievements. We've got score 7,000 points in a single run and win a run with no sentinels. So we might want to just take these out, honestly. Let's go ahead and knock both of these out, and then move on to the character-specific ones. So I'm not too sure how to get up to 7,000 points in a run. It's not easy for me to keep track of everything that counts for points. I always forget to look at the lose screen after the end of a game. If I had to guess, though, we're probably going to want to get all the way up to Astrea. So let's turn this on at least one. Not too sure if maybe, bigger health bars would help with getting more points, but maybe. If there's points associated with certain moves, then that would help, but again, I'm not too sure about that. I don't know, let's just try it. Let's just try to get past Astrea, and let's see how many points we can accrue. We'll take it from there. Alright. So for the first Star Blessing, what do we have? Every 20 times you deal Purification, double it. Every 8 safe die you play, refresh virtues, okay. Every 5 turns gain incorruptible. Okay, if we're going for points, again, I'm not too sure what all counts for points. I know at the very least star shards count, maybe the amount of dice that we have count, the amount of lives we have at the end of the game. I can imagine those being points for sure, but everything else I'm not sure about. Like if we have a certain amount of safe die versus risky die versus neutral die versus whatever else. I'm sure the amount of star blessings we have probably counts, so that's something. I'm just not entirely sure, picking one of these over the other is going to get us more points. It doesn't seem like that is the case. Alright, so I guess the no-brainer option would be get incorruptible every 5 turns, but This one's not bad either. We always like a refresh run. Kind of opens the door for some fun turns to be had. Just a matter of, do we think we can survive if we don't have this? And I think with the difficulty turned down, we honestly can. I think we can afford to play a little more risky. Okay. What do we have here? Soul Stigma. We're not necessarily going to be going for Sothis' character-specific stuff, so we don't have to go hard on the Affliction. Whenever Affliction is applied, a random enemy receives X Purification Y times, where Y is the amount of targets that Affliction was applied. Yeah, we don't necessarily need to be putting Affliction everywhere, so that's not a huge deal. Alright. I guess we're going to be running a pretty standard build here. First die being a relief die. Second die being a timeless die. I mean, that's a pretty good setup for just a heal heavy run or a passive thing. And again, as long as we can find some ways to get points, we don't necessarily have to conform to a certain build. So I don't see any reason why not to continue this and just go for the relief build, you know? It just might be a bit slow for the first couple of battles. Nothing we haven't done before, though. I hope everyone's doing well. I know not too many people tend to watch this series out of all of my series that I'm doing, but if you're all watching it, I do appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. I hope by the time that you are watching this, maybe some stuff is going maybe a little better in the country. I don't mean to start off in a depressing state here, but I feel like within the past month, it's currently March right now, late March. Feels like just a lot of stuff is going wrong in the country. And it's like, well, you'd think stuff would get better. Like, stuff was getting better for maybe like a minute. But with all the stuff going on in the presidency and some other stuff going around in the world, it just seems like stuff isn't really getting better, and it's actively getting worse, and it's like, well, you know, hopefully you guys watching in the future don't have it so badly. For me right now, I mean, I just gotta find some stuff to do to take my mind off of it. Seems quite possible that, you know, America might go to war, which is a bit depressing. Well, more than a bit depressing, but it's kind of been on the fence for a while. If you've been paying attention to politics, I mean, even passingly, I'm not huge into politics, but I feel like I've noticed for a while that America has been either on the fence or at least lightly involved. Put it lightly involved with different conflicts. And it feels like at this point, like I said, about mid-March, we're at that tipping point where it's like, well, we could go either way, depending on what other people do. You know, if one person goes one way, maybe we'll be at war. If another person goes another way, maybe some other war will start somewhere else. You know, so it's all kind of in the air right now, I would say. Thankfully, me personally, I can say I've got a bit of a distance from most conflict, I would say. So I've got a bit of luck there. There's a lot of other people in different states who may be a lot more involved with, you know, some military stuff going on, some domestic stuff that's been going on for the past couple of months. I'm just trying to think about where I am right now in case some stuff does go down. Got spring break coming up, which is good. Summer's still a bit of ways away, but I've got spring break coming up, so I can take a little bit of time off work and just kind of, you know, think about where stuff may go. Do I really want to go out of town to go do something when I could very well run into some protests somewhere that might, you know, turn into something, or, you know what I mean? Like, do I really want to go out, spend my money and time doing something when it's not going to be worth it, or should I just go ahead and do it? You know what I mean? Just all up in the air right now. What am I doing here? Destroy dice. I don't necessarily want to destroy anything. I would go to the forge shop and maybe get rid of these affliction faces here. Because honestly, this right here is enough for me. If I could just keep this affliction here and not get any more, that'd be great. And let's find out if... Actually, no, let's not do that. I was going to say, let's find out if we can buy some sentinels and start upgrading them now. Because I'm not too sure if sentinels and their level will count towards our point total. But I was just talking about the forge shop, so we might as well just, you know, grab that real quick. Alright, what are we dealing with here? We've got... I see some hiddens going around. Doesn't seem like anything's going to be permanent, though, so I'm going to start chipping away at each of these. Have some more relief. Love to see that. Might as well go ahead and put some on myself. I do need a heal. Okay. You still have hidden, so I can't see your die, but I can see yours now. See, 2 corruption, so that's not too bad. 2 damage and probably another 2, so... With my healing, I should be alright. Shouldn't have to worry about all that. Looks like we can build up just a little bit of soul heat here, maybe. I would copy the sandstorm, but I'm pretty sure we can't really make great use out of another one. At most, we can get this and then do another one for 1 hit, but like, we can also just do this and hit this one 3 times. About the same outcome anyways, you know? Choose any target that has relief. Trigger it, then decrease relief by 1. Okay, so that'd be good for like an instant heal if we needed it, but I don't think we do. Got a few different options here. There we go. Alright, well, now that we have a bit of an idea of what we're doing for the run, I do feel a little more comfortable if I go ahead and start talking a bit more. So, like I said at the beginning, I was gone for a while. I've been talking about it on my other streams, so at this point it feels like a bit of a repetitive point, but I'll go ahead and say it again a little bit. I was gone on business that was not really all that important. I feel like I kind of set it up in a way that sounded a lot more serious than it is, but it really wasn't that serious. All that really happened in the 3 weeks was some work stuff. I got moved over to a different work site, so one of the weeks was spent basically acclimating to the new work site. New employees, new kids to be working with, all of that. So that was all kind of a thing that happened out of nowhere. And then I spent another week doing some one second. Let me just make sure we have enough stuff to be playing this. Every 8 safe die you play, so we want to pick up some safe dice if we can. And Sunray is not bad. It looks like if we want to make that work, we might have to force ourselves to go down like a soul heat type of build, which actually does fit in with Sandstorm, so I don't mind doing that actually. Purging Eruption. Apply 1 affliction to an enemy. Deal 3 purification to the same target X times, where X is the amount of affliction that they have. I mean, not great, but it is a safe die, so it's going to help out with this. Oh, here we go. Every 12 risky die you play, apply incorruptible to all enemies. I guess that would be good if we have risky dice, especially because most of the risky dice for Sothis are affliction dice, so that actually would not be bad. I feel like usually that's not too useful, but with Sothis I feel like that would actually come through. Whenever you or a sentinel deal corruption or affliction, increase my soul heat by 1. Oh, see, if we had both of these, that would be awesome. We could definitely make something work with both of these. But if we can only take 1, I'm not too sure. Whenever you or Sentinel receives purification that exceeds health bar, random enemy receives purification. Okay. I'll probably take the card then, because that actually allows us to split our build even further, so we can do a relief affliction build that kind of rounds out both of those ones, and then we have what was the other one? Soul Heat. We can have affliction and relief, you know, work with each other, and then we'll have Soul Heat on top of that, so that'll be cool. Anyways, I was saying, I had to get it used to work. I had to get, you know, used to the new site and everything, so I did that. And then I started taking care of some stuff on my end at, you know, in my room, a bit more personal stuff. So I cleaned up my room a bit, made sure everything was where it needs to be, so I don't have to go looking for it. I rearranged some of my audio stuff, which took a bit. I replaced a part of my laptop, which also took a bit. And I started doing some research about like audio stuff, even more audio stuff. I'm gonna start buying some acoustic panels, I think, if I can spare some money. But that's still maybe about a month out before I do any of that. Yeah, it took a week to do that. And then I took another week to start posting some more content on TikTok. I started recording some music stuff, and that's kind of turned into kind of a whole project that's taken a lot more hours than I expected. Right now it's just me posting on TikTok once a day, or, you know, when I can maintain once a day. But it turns out that's actually kind of a lot more work than I bargained for. Right now it's just me posting some music songs, or music covers of songs on guitar and bass. And I thought I could just kind of hop on and just kind of noodle around for a bit. Just record myself for a minute at a time, and that would be enough. And like, yeah, I can do that. It's not like the internet's gonna kill me for, you know, just hopping on and being like informal and all that, like casual setting type of stuff. That's all fine and good, but I wanted to make a bit more polished content, I guess you could say. I wanted to have some sheet music at the bottom, which I do. I have a little scroll where you can see all the stuff I'm playing. But of course, you know, if I do that, I have to edit it in. I have to make the tabs in the first place for the sheet music. I have to make the tabs in the first place. So that alone takes enough time And then I have to learn the song according to how I, wrote out the tabs. And that's kind of another beast in and of itself. And again, I kind of thought it wouldn't take that long. I'm like, oh yeah, you just write some stuff down on a page. Maybe it's like, at most, 100 measures of music. And then, like, that's it. You just record it and you're done. But no. It takes a lot more time than that. Well, that's been taking up another chunk of my time. And I took a break from Twitch because I was like, well, let me just make sure this isn't like a very, very hidden time commitment. You know what I mean? It's a weird way to put that, but I mean, like, let me just make sure this isn't going to take like 60 hours a week and not just 20 type of thing. But it seems pretty reasonable so far. It is taking more time than I thought, but it's not taking that much more time. So, as of now, I should be able to maintain at least some kind of posting schedule with that and streaming at the same time. My priority as of now is streaming, so that's going to be what makes it through, if not both of those things. But again, the goal is to be posting once a day. Maybe 6 times a week, if I have to. But yeah, that's all going well. That's all good stuff on my end. Which is, again, weirdly enough why I'm kind of stressing about the world, because I'm like, well, now I've got my stuff figured out. Let me see what I want to do with my free time, and then I see all this stuff going down. It's like scary to go outside. You never know if you're gonna run into some dude that's gonna do something stupid, or you never know if you're gonna hear some crazy news about somebody doing something crazy. It seems like there's just a lot more of that right now. Oh, we lost? Oh no, I'm stupid. Oops. Oh, well. At least we get to see what contributes to our score, but that's my bad. My bad. So, Star Shards. Tainted Reef Hard Battle. Oh, the hard battles count. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Hearts lost on battle, specifically. Okay, so it's not about how many hearts you have, it's about how many you've lost in battle. Okay. Astrea level. Okay, so the Astrea level itself gives you extra points. So we can make that like an extra 1,000. That should be okay. Tainted Reef normal battle. Oh, these give the same amount of points. Oh. Right, but the hard battles give you star shards. That's right. Okay, I see. Hearts sacrificed gives you extra points. Interesting. Okay. And anomaly level also gives extra points. Okay. I can work with that. I definitely don't want to crank up the difficulty too hard, because I still haven't got past anomaly level 9, I think. So we're not even quite to the max. So that's an extra 1,000. If we crank that up to 10, that's an extra 1,000. If we crank this up to 6, that's an extra 1,200 on top of that. So 2,200 just from the difficulty. If we crank this up to 10. And then we would get the most points from the hard battle, so we would have to crank up the difficulty even more in-game. We're still not sure about Sentinels, because we didn't have any Sentinels, so that's still on the table. It seems like the amount of dice we had didn't do anything, so that's off the table. What else was there? The heart stuff, I mean, we can manage that. That's all well and good. Blessings, it didn't seem like we didn't... It didn't seem like we got any points out of the blessings, so that's probably off the table. And then I think all the nodes on the map didn't really matter either. Whether or not we visited a shrine in the first place, or took an event, or, you know, like replaced stuff on the, in the forge shop. It seemed like all of that didn't really matter, so... I guess we do have some good idea of what we're doing now, thankfully. So let's crank this up to 5. That'll be 500. And then we'll crank this to 5 as well. So that's an extra 1,000. So 1,500 here. Oh, but we do have to win. Or else we're going to lose points from losing. So you know what? Let me just crank this down to 4. Because not recovering hearts when we fight Astrea is pretty brutal. So... let me just make that 800 points, and then we'll call this 1,300, which is still, you know, that's still a good amount of points. So 1,300, and then we got to make up, what, 5,700? We can figure out how to do that. Okay.